This is the Awesome Life Podcast.
Cheers.
I'm awesome! Team Awesome!
What up?
Awesome Life Podcast,
Yeah.
episode 114. I'm Mr. Phoenix.
Here with Chili, and who do we have back again like you never left?
Marshall Baker.
He's back.
Welcome.
The comedian.
115, you said? 114?
114.
114,
That's a lot of episodes. Damn.
Buck
congrats.
14. Yeah, I know.
Did you guys do some celebration for the 100th?
Yeah, we did. We
Twice,
actually,
as a matter of
we
fact.
had, there's two episode 100s. One got shelved
Yeah.
Why is that?
because the audio
was
got
all
fucked.
Mm.
All the way fucked.
You know what it's
up.
like to have to clean up confetti twice? Same reason.
No.
It was
It's
awful.
It sounds depressing.
It's
Yeah,
tedious.
it was awful.
All right, but let's jump right into it. So we got, a couple different subjects today that we're going to go over. There's been something circulating on Twitter for a while now, or X, I should call it. X.
We got it. We got to just do it.
I'm not honest.
You're not on X?
No.
You should. It's a
Pretty lit.
a great awful place. At the same
I was
time.
just about to say it's absolutely awful, bro.
It's but it's hilarious.
I see so much killing.
Yeah, there's a little less killing, a little less porn now.
Oh, that's
there's,
nice.
There's some really good content besides the killing and porn,
Mm.
but something isn't that.
Mine is mostly fighting and death
Is it?
that I see.
Well, I mean,
my
it's
algorithm.
also the algorithm. So
I know.
if that's what you like, it's what you like.
It's not what I like.
Okay.
It just happened.
All right.
I might have opened it and now it thinks that's what
No,
I'm
if
into.
you one wrong click, man, and that's your future.
You bring up an interesting point to nitpick what you just said. Because you brought up porn and then said, well, it's your algorithm, buddy. So
Yo,
what are you doing on your X account? No, I'm just
We're
kidding.
just looking around.
Yo, what if we write like a horror flick where you're being like attacked by the algorithm, but like there's like a personification of the algorithm,
Oh.
and it turns into things that you
Like
would like.
Every-
Every shape shifts.
like you go to show your girlfriend some video and the algorithm pops up and like it's only naked ladies and she thinks that you're sitting there looking at naked ladies.
No,
stuff
it's
like that.
more like personified, not.
Or if the algorithm.
Well, it
was
could
a
start off
person.
subtly like
Yeah.
that, and then like
And
you
then
go
it
to show a
builds-
businessman something
Yeah.
on Instagram and the algorithm pulls up something else embarrassing. Something.
Yeah. Could be.
That's an interesting idea.
There might be something there.
It might be. We got to think about it some more. Sell it
Yeah.
to Hollywood.
That's
But
cool.
anyway, all right.
The great debate.
The great debate. And this has gone way viral. Like, this has been circulating, and it's now reaching everywhere. One gorilla versus 100 dudes.
Let me preface this real quick.
Mm.
Okay. This is a 500-pound silverback gorilla.
Yeah,
Okay.
king of the jungle.
That's on the heftier side.
Yeah. I mean,
I
the
think the largest is like 600,
but
yeah.
that's why I didn't go 600. We're gonna do 500.
Oh, not quite the biggest.
Not quite the biggest, the largest.
Let me ask.
Versus 100 grown men, and they're not all gonna be super swole. Some might be.
So
but
average
just,
guys,
just
range.
just average it out. These are not professional fighters,
Are
these are
any
not-
of them
it's a
drug
combination.
abusers?
huh?
Are any of them drug abusers?
Maybe a
Specifically
couple.
like
May-
crack, meth,
maybe.
cocaine?
Maybe
But the main theme here is no weapons.
No weapons.
No weapons.
Let me ask another background question. Has the gorilla had sex in the past 3 days in this fight? Because that does affect things.
I mean,
That
you
genuinely-
don't know.
Well,
I
it
guess.
is a
Don't know.
fight to the death. The gorilla is fighting for its life.
Right, but
but-
has the gorilla had sex previously?
No.
Like, did you guys
No.
meet the gorilla with someone
No.
before?
Virgin gorilla.
Okay, so he's juiced up. He's a little pissed.
But two things you got to assume in this situation. One, the 100 people, the 100 men are dedicated to the cause.
They're
And
ready
is
to
the-
die.
But so is the gorilla.
Oh.
The gorilla is also dedicated to the cause.
How do you
What he's basically trying to say is that all these 100 men are like suicide.
They
I was about to say
they are
that.
ready to die for the cause.
they understand that. They very well
However,
could
but the
die.
fear of the reality is you see people drop like flies.
That's what I'm saying. So
You're
are
gonna
these
start
like-
pissing your pants.
are these like
Sure.
Serbian, Russian,
no,
ready
just
to
regular,
die,
just
like-
just regular, regular,
Just
regulars.
regular guys who
There'll
said
be a-
that they were
there-
ready to
there-
die?
There'll be a couple guys
You
that are 250. You have a couple guys that are
Some
160.
bodybuilders,
Yeah,
some,
it's
regular,
all
some
mixed
skinny
in.
dudes.
But
And a human can't like grab the forearm of the man that just died.
no,
and
no,
use
you
that
can't
to
use
stab
no
the gorilla.
no weaponry.
I don't see why you couldn't.
No, because then you're essentially using a tool.
So, but the gorilla can pick one guy up and smash other people.
He's
with him?
he's at a disadvantage. It's 100 to 1. Okay.
So the gorilla can use a quote
I
unquote
don't know
weapon,
if the
but
gorilla-
I mean,
Because as soon as you can puncture the animal, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Okay, but the gorilla snaps my arm in half. I have a sharp bone sticking out. I can't use that to
You
smash
can't
the gorilla.
invincible that motherfucker.
You can't tell me I can't use my own broken bone.
Sure. In that instance, but that would not happen. The person that had their arm just snapped is not going to be able to swing their arm to kill a
They're
gorilla.
dedicated to the cause.
No.
You know what's funny?
Just answer the question. What do you got?
These are like debates that we had when we were like 12. I saw this on the news and was like, this is everywhere right now.
It is
The
literally
world is wrapped around a 12-year-old's debate.
I'll tell you what. I'm taking the 100 men.
You're taking
I'm
the
taking
100
100
men?
men. Even you know what? Even if they're some of them are betas, some of them regular schmegular, I'm taking my chances. If they're all dedicated to that shit, the 100 men. That's pure numbers on the gorilla. The gorilla will get tired. The gorillas do not just have infinite stamina.
That's very true.
Let alone the gorilla is typically a docile creature. Yeah, all right. It's in the mood of fighting. That's fair. A lot of people are going to die. That's just how it is. A
Well,
lot of people are going to die, but I'm still taking the 100 men.
I think you're making a mistake because I think you're going at it from the wrong mindset. Try to step into the feet of the gorilla here, okay? Let's put you up against let's say 4 toddlers or 100 toddlers, right?
Okay.
You're up against 100 4-year-olds.
Okay.
Do you think you got them? Because
the toddler wouldn't be equivalent. So you got to think that gorilla is probably 5 to 7 times stronger. A toddler that we're way stronger than a toddler. So
Okay,
let's say fourth grader.
4th grader. Yeah,
So like
100
like a
fourth
10-year-old
graders.
or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
an 11-year-old
Yeah,
or something?
19-year-old.
you tower above him still.
Yeah,
All right,
I
no
mean,
weapons.
Sure. I mean, I
Like,
I
how
th-
much is a 10-year-old's punch going to affect you, whether you're worn down or not?
Well, yeah, I mean, the stamina makes all the difference. There's
It-
100 of them.
It does, sure,
Also,
but I think
I can punch. I can like. It would take a lot of energy for me to kill a 4th grader with just my bare fist. It would get done, but you
That's
think
why I
you think
said
one
toddlers,
punch would
'cause-
just kill them?
because
No,
gorillas
they would.
could just
They
rip
might
your
be
arms
knocked
off.
They might be knocked out, but eventually they're gonna get back up.
That's why I was saying toddlers, because gorillas can just like yank your arms off and shit, and you can't really do that to a 10. Most people can't really.
No,
do that
you
to a
can't. You
10-year-old.
can't.
No.
You
Well,
can.
You can't. You can't.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like probably like 5-year-olds.
So like
I just feel like we'd be so ineffective. Like if we were to take one high energy cracked out guy and put him against a low energy gorilla who's like just had the fight of his life and is tired as fuck, the gorilla can still very slowly just put his weight on his head and crush his skull. Like, and even when that guy takes all his energy and punches that gorilla and he's tired, he's not flexing his muscles. I
So
don't think the gorilla.
who are you taking?
I'm taking the gorilla.
that's the right answer.
I'm taking the
not.
gorilla.
That's
not.
that
I
is
think-
the right
I
answer.
think that's
Here's why, though.
that's foolish. You're
Here's
thinking.
why. I think if they were Serbian, Russian, mind-controlled fucks who like had no conscience and sense of will, that they would win. But if they're not like that, I don't think they're winning.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead.
Because you're gonna have that first. They're gonna encircle the gorilla, 100 normal men,
Okay.
right? Let's say there's 20 in that inner circle, and they all rush right into the gorilla. They're all in the mindset, I'm ready to die for this, and then that gorilla takes one swipe with the left and knocks 4 of those dudes over
Easily, just one swipe.
like paper. Grabs the 5th dude, reaches him up above his head, and like Total Khan from Mortal Kombat just rips him in half and like bathes in his blood, and then just knocks the head off of the next guy coming at him with the legs of the previous guy who just went at him. The next 40 people who just saw that are going to go, who? They're going to take a second. And in that 1 second, the gorilla is going to get 5 more people. And then those 40 around him are going to be like a little scared and go, ooh.
I'll say 2 quick things and then let you go. The first thing, I feel like you're giving the gorilla too much credit. As you're thinking the gorilla thinks as smartly as humans do.
I know they don't, but I
gorilla,
know
the gorilla's not going to have any kind of strategy. It's just going to be all instinct, smash, destroy. Meanwhile, the humans can actually strategize.
yeah, a
that
little
shit.
bit. But you're
Um,
also acting like the gorilla doesn't live in the jungle and face other gorillas on a daily basis.
Other
Sure.
And
gorillas,
gorillas
jaguars.
do have war strategy.
Sure.
All right, gorillas are
And
known
they're
and studied
pretty
to have,
docile for the most part.
unless you fuck with them. And like gorillas fuck with each other all the time. I think gorillas have guerrilla warfare experience. Hence why we
So,
named
the
guerrilla
other-
warfare
all right,
guerrilla warfare.
My second point, real quick. So you say that, okay, the humans would see the first couple get destroyed and then be like, oh, and,
At least
and
for a
then-
second.
Bro, how many wars has humanity been through? They've seen people get slaughtered and then still gone all the time. That's why I think that point's mute.
I don't,
Because
because it's an
Think about
individual
World War
thing.
II, trench war, like all that stuff.
Yeah, but you're not taking
We're not
Brad
taking-
Pitt,
we're-
who
we're not-
survived
we're
World
not-
War II.
We're not
Fury
taking. We're not
and-
taking military men.
Yeah,
We're taking average Joes.
Okay, fair enough.
you're not
That-
taking a guy who
But at the
survived
same
war.
time, who did they send off to war in World War II?
Average Joes.
Joes.
Yeah,
So
but they
when
were.
you're- when-
You saw
you gotta
Saving
be-
Private Ryan. You saw all those motherfuckers on the beach,
All right.
Sure.
scared shitless,
Anyway.
not moving forward.
All right,
Let me
I think I need to time in. So a couple things is I get the swarming aspect, but you're not going to get enough hands on an arm to subdue the gorilla. You cannot punch a gorilla and hurt a gorilla. You cannot choke out a gorilla because their necks are, bro. Their
Too strong.
Their necks are this big, bro. This big. So what are you going to actually do to this gorilla?
Gouge.
No,
its
Gouge
eyes.
the eyes.
Okay, you think he's not going to move his head like a million? He's going to bite, bro. They will bite your motherfucking hand off, bro.
Correct.
No chance. Now, hold on. I want to say something real quick. Francis Ngannou
Mm.
has
This is getting racy.
has the strongest recorded punch on the planet. It is safe to say that if he punched a human, there's a chance that he could kill him. Not every punch would kill, but he could.
Definitely.
Now, this gorilla, bare minimum, could swing 5 times the power that Francis Ngannou has. That means if he connects anywhere in the head, that head is done. You're out. You're out. You're out. You're out. Now, chimpanzees could literally rip your arm out of its socket if it wanted to. That's how
Sure.
strong they are. This gorilla is at least 3 times a chimp's strength, maybe 4.
Well, and you specified silverback, and a
Yes.
silverback is the leader of a group community.
A
like
male
a male leader, though.
gorilla.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're not a silverback unless you're the leader. Like you can be a breed.
No, I think that's
I don't.
You can be a sub breed, but in the actual, you're talking to the right guy here. I loved gorillas growing up. I studied them a lot.
Okay.
And the silverback, like when they use the term, this is the silverback. That's the leader of the group. The other guys were
We'll
not
assume it
considered
is. It's-
silverbacks.
Again,
You-
it's
Google
the
it.
alpha. It's the alpha gorilla.
It's the alpha gorilla. So he's been through some shit.
And then the other thing is, if it needs space to move around, it can literally run through you like bowling pins. Like it can do its little thing, run through you, get a little space if it needs it. It's an animal. It knows how to survive.
And it doesn't have infinite energy.
That is the only
Also-
argument you have
Also,
That's true.
is stamina.
and let's say this: you say, okay, it can run through people. All right, a lot of them are just going to get back up. It's not going to be one. And here's the other thing: you give the gorilla too much credit as far as okay, just pure power. When you talk about Francis Ngannou, that's training, that's skill, technique. The gorilla has none of that. Just power. That's the only thing it has. And when it blows its wad, it's fucked.
No, bro, their stamina is way more advanced than ours, bro.
That's not pound for pound. Humans have the most stamina per muscle. Absolutely. Overall, a gorilla's gonna get gas.
bro, they eat bamboo.
I don't.
They're lean
Okay,
Is that-
machine.
I don't think
Yeah,
that's an
yeah,
actual
yeah,
fact
I don't
about
think so.
humans having more stamina.
Yeah.
pound for pound.
Pound
if you're
for
talking
pound.
about muscle mass versus like muscle mass in weight versus stamina, humans are up there. There's a reason why humans are at the top of the food chain, not just.
I bet
besides
you a gorilla's
intellectually.
cardio
It's pretty
smashes
insane.
ours.
It's too big. Okay, think about this. Think about typically larger people even though they're stronger, they're going to have less cardio. Same kind of concept with a gorilla. And let's say it's still okay. Maybe again compared to the average Joe, yes, the gorilla is going to have more stamina compared pound for pound. It's still 100v1.
Right.
100 people we're talking about here.
My argument is that each person is going to have so little effect that the gorilla isn't going to have to use that much. The gorilla does not
It
have to
adds
use
up.
a lot of energy. It sure does.
It
Sure.
adds up.
But I think the gorilla's got plenty of stamina for the amount of energy needed to kill a guy.
No,
So-
let alone the
so-
gorilla's going to panic.
$1 billion on the line. You get to be a part of this. Okay.
That's a different story.
and you get to be a part of this, and you get to choose which order you get to be in. So you could be number
99.
one. You could be 99. You could be 100 on this. Are you going? Are you taking the shot? Since you're so confident that 100 men can do it, you might not even if your theory is right, you don't even have to lay a finger on this
You're the
motherfucker.
100.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
are you taking that shot?
I wanna hear-
I mean, it's easier.
His face
It changed.
after all
It
of them.
changed.
Well, it's easier said than done, right? But at the same time, if you give me that hypothetical and you let me be the 100th person in that fight
You
for $1
know,
billion,
You'll take that fight?
I mean, again, it's easier said than done,
I'll
right?
take that deal.
I was
I
gonna
wouldn't
say-
take that. I'm just
I'm
quoting.
absolutely not
I was
taking
gonna
that.
say it's easier said than done, but yeah, the way I'm thinking, and if my logic checks out, then if they're all dedicated, that means I'd have to be dedicated too. That means if the gorilla's at 5 XP, if the gorilla only is at the end of its line, I got to be ready to finish it.
Oh my god!
So-
That's-
What I'm curious. I kind of want to hear a strategy because you brought up that we have stamina and strategies. What's
Sure.
what's
Well,
a good
I
strategy
said
for this
more
situation?
more stamina pound for pound. As far as the strategy, I again I'd have to think it over because you do got to use all the men, and you got to understand that I do believe that over half of the men will die horrendously. I do believe that.
At least half.
I'm just saying the fact of the matter is, if there's one man standing at the end of it or the gorilla, yeah, I'm
Chat
taking the people.
GPT said 95% chance the gorilla wins,
Sure.
which means there is a scenario.
But that's
there
a
is that-
robot, and they're against us.
Well, I don't think they're for gorillas either. But moving on to our next segment, let's say you get to choose the men. Give me 100 LeBrons versus the gorilla.
Is this prime LeBron or 40-year-old?
This is prime LeBron.
I'm still going gorilla because LeBron knows
Nah.
basketball. But give me 100 Ngannus versus the gorilla.
Sure.
I'm going.
Okay.
I'm going the
Let's
Ngannou.
just say, or not even necessarily like 100 of one particular person, but you get to choose the lineup of 100 people.
I could devise a lineup that could take that gorilla
It'd
down.
be easy.
As soon as you
I-
get specific,
If
I get
you-
more
you give me-
confident.
and
I'm
also-
taking Eddie Hall, like
John
like
Jones.
John Jones,
Some strong guys.
strongmen, and then I'm taking some military strategists.
Mm.
I'm taking like Marine Corps dudes,
Yeah, a couple Navy
I-
SEAL guys.
top tier athletes.
Mm.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you're. So here's the thing.
Only top tier athletes I'm taking are combat.
so
athletes for
check
that.
this out. With
What
his
about
with his
Aaron Donald.
yeah, that I would take an Aaron Donald
I'll
all
take an
day.
Aaron Donald.
That's a good point.
James
That's a good point.
Harrison. You got to understand that not only does it make it like they could do more damage, they make it harder. It's harder to swing around a 300-pound man
Exactly. Yeah.
than it is. You're more likely to wear
Not
down.
just that, you close the gap tremendously. You say a gorilla is 5 to 6 times stronger than a human. Well, a gorilla, depending on the gorilla, is only 2, maybe 3 times stronger than an Aaron Donald. You close the gap tremendously.
Yeah.
Eddie Hall moves gorilla weight, like moves stuff that gorillas move.
That's very true.
Maybe not as
Very true.
easily,
Hmm.
but he can do it. So
Hmm.
so strong men, I think you could do that. But here's my curveball. You
Hmm.
ready? One gorilla versus 1,000 glowrillas.
Glowrillas?
It's the female rapper. I just fucking around. What 1,000 glowrillas versus one gorilla?
Mm.
I don't.
I'm just talking
I
shit.
don't know.
Let's keep it going.
All right.
I'm going Glorilla because I think she's gonna seduce him
Oh yeah, he's gonna beat her cheeks.
for survival. Yes, I think the smart Glorilla's will.
The Glorrillas. But yeah. Anyways,
Keep going.
we should talk about our picks, where we're
Yeah,
at.
let's do that real quick.
Let me grab a pen real quick.
Have you been watching the NBA at all, Marshall?
A little bit. Went to some games. I went to March Madness, like a full day of March Madness.
That's pretty
That
cool.
was pretty
That
cool.
is cool.
That's pretty fun.
At Ball
I-
Arena.
I don't pay attention enough to like tell you stats and stuff, but I enjoy watching the games. They're
Sure.
fun to watch. It's a
Sure.
blast.
So first round's almost done. I think we got one game left,
Tonight.
and that's Rockets versus Warriors.
Correct.
Who you got winning?
I got the Warriors.
I think I do as well because that was my original pick. So I got one. I got
Warriors
stand
in
by
7.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
both of us had that. Anyway,
Heat Cavs.
they-
What did you pick?
Heat Cav. I picked the Cavs.
Cavs in what?
I'll tell you. Right
5. I think you picked Cavs in 5. So
I picked the Cavs in 5.
So
And they swept them, didn't they?
yeah. So Chile. Okay, Phoenix. All right. So we each get 1 point there.
Okay, so I had Milwaukee in 6. That's
No.
where we both had
We both-
Milwaukee.
yeah, we didn't.
Pacers win, so no points there at
Yeah.
all. New York in 6. I think New York got it done in
6.
They did get it done in 6, yeah.
I picked New York in 6 as well.
Okay. I had Boston in
that's-
5.
so that's-
Boston got it done in 5.
Okay. Boston got it in.
And I know you had them
a
sweep.
sweep.
I had
So you
OKC in
So
5.
hold on. You get 2 there. Okay.
I had
OKC
in
in
5.
5.
They swept them.
Swept
That was
them.
an easy series for them.
So 1-1. I picked
Denver in 7. We both had Denver in
In
7,
7,
and
yeah.
it was Denver in 7.
Okay.
Los Angeles in 6,
Yeah,
and that
we
was
lose that.
highly mistaken.
Yep.
And then Golden State in 7, and so that's to be determined.
To
But,
be determined.
so I think I'm up 1.
You're up 1 on me. So
Alrighty.
you have I have 3, 4, 5, 7. You have 8 points. I have 7 points.
All right, cool. Well, let's get to it because round 2, and granted, on the last one we'll have 2 predictions depending on who comes
Yeah.
out. But I think we'll finally have some differences. So we
we got?
have Cleveland versus the Pacers, right?
Yep.
Yep. I'll take the Cavs in 5.
Is that what you picked? That's what you put down? What you texted me?
Yeah. That's there. You can
Okay.
see it.
Okay.
Cavs in 5. Who you got?
I got Cavs in 6.
Okay.
Could have sworn you've put something else. That's funny. What did I put? I didn't send it to you. No, I did send it to you. Oh, you did say Cavs in 5. And I said Cavs in 5. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Then we got Celtics, Knicks, and I'll take Celtics in 7. I think that
the one-
series. I think that series is actually really close.
I got Celtics in 5.
Oh, damn. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. I know. There's some injuries on the Celtics
Yep.
front, so that's part of it. This one and this one. At the end of the day, I might.
You got to go with your
I
team,
gotta
man.
roll with them, man. They looked really good yesterday. I'll take the Nuggets finding a way to get it done in 7.
Thunder in 6.
Um.
Thunder in 6. That's where I'm gonna.
So then I'm gonna pick the Warriors to win tonight, but I'm still taking the Timberwolves in 7 against the Warriors, or Timberwolves in 6 against the Rockets.
I
They're
got
on a heater.
I have Warriors winning that series in 7 as well. But in the event that the Rockets win, I have Wolves winning in 5.
Okay, just to be clear, I still took the Wolves in 7 against Golden State.
Huh? Yes.
Just to be clear, yeah.
Yes,
whatever.
you did. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that's our next round of predictions. I'm currently up 1,
1.
but I got to ask you,
Let's
the
go.
Lakers, very disappointing, very, very disappointing. What went wrong, and how could it have been different?
Well, they needed to that Mark Williams trade should have went through instead of they rescinded it because of a physical, which was bullshit. I think LeBron wanted to keep Dalton Connect. It is what it is, but they needed a big and they didn't have it, and that's what they're gonna have to find in the offseason. Luka's conditioning was horrible, which is a common reoccurrence. So hopefully, being around LeBron, maybe he can pick up some of his habits. But I got a hot take for you.
Let's hear it.
That same series. So there's a couple things that change. The seeding might have been different. I think Luka had a lot to do with how the Lakers got to that seeding in a positive way, whereas Anthony Davis might have, they might have lost games because he would have been injured. However,
Correct.
I think with that team, that same team with Anthony Davis instead of Luka, I think they beat the Wolves. I think
They'd have more
the
defense.
rim protection against that team, Rudy Gobert would be non-effective.
Yeah, but he only was really, really good in the last game.
No, but he got a lot of offensive boards when he was on the court. He didn't get a lot of
You like
play
to
time.
continue?
You're trying to flash the.
Don't throw up nothing. on
Don't
this
throw up
podcast.
nothing. Yeah, please don't. Oh, you got red and blue.
It's all love.
Um,
So, but also, would Anthony Davis even be available?
that's. I'm just saying, if you were to put that same exact matchup and you swap Luka for AD, I think they win that series.
How much do you blame it on Redick?
Not going deeper into his bench, having no trust in the rest of his team was probably what gassed LeBron.
It's part of it. But yeah, I mean,
guy is 40 years old. You're 22.
His last couple games, he was almost non-effective in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he's tired by the time fourth quarter came.
So
he had 27 points within 3. I mean,
Sure.
that's. I mean, his averages for the series were. I think he averaged 24, 25, 25, 7, and 8. That's. I mean, how can you? What can you ask from a 40-year-old guy?
More records.
But more at a different time frame.
I know this is old,
More in the
but
fourth.
did they ever figure out like what the fuck happened with Luka getting traded? Because like,
what do you mean?
I don't know too much about that, but I know like Mark Cuban didn't know that Luka was getting.
Well,
like a bunch of people had no clue.
He's not a
majority
owner anymore. He sold.
Ah.
So that would have never happened if Mark Cuban was still
correct
the owner.
Yeah.
Are
they feeling those mistakes yet?
They did.
Oh,
I mean,
Nico Harrison gets death threats.
Yeah.
Regularly.
Fair enough. The other thing I will say is I think Lakers win Game 3 if Luka isn't sick.
Yeah,
in that game,
that does make a difference.
I think you saw the difference a little bit, but the Wolves, bro, Anthony Edwards is a dick. He's such a good player. Oh, he's a dick, bro.
He's absolutely.
I dislike him. It's not that I don't respect him. I respect him. I just dislike him because of how smug he is.
I was just about to say, when you described him as being smug, like that is like the perfect
That's the only
description of him. He's definitely
You
smug.
see that he shaved his head?
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, he's going full Jordan?
He's
going full Jordan on him real quick?
He's a beast.
Do you think LeBron's son is going to get fired when LeBron retires?
Fired? You mean released?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, I live in the real world where
It's
it's called fired, and you don't get paid millions to play a game. You have to work.
Fair enough. There's a good chance, but also we'll see. You never know. He could be a decent player. It's too early to tell, I think. But fair enough. I will say
you had something you wanted to bring up.
I already brought the Luka.
Oh, okay.
I don't know much, and what I had heard was a lot of people who had influence
trade.
on that decision were not aware of that decision, and it was made really quick, and it was a very dumb decision.
And it's a stupid trade, not even because of necessarily this season, but the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because Luka's gonna be playing for 10 years. Let's say that he does get in really good shape, starts wanting to play defense. He's gonna. I mean, bro, Luka's insane.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he is a good player. Him and Braun there, as his friends call him.
I think Braun will play one more season and then retire.
You think
one
so?
more?
One more, yeah.
I think he's gonna.
He owes it to. I think he knows he doesn't owe the fans anything, but I think he knows that that's the right thing to do.
So, I think he's gonna end it like a lot of old greats did who played past their time, like Brett Favre, and Tom Brady, where they play just a little bit past and like they have one season or maybe just the end of a season where you can start to see that they need to
Tom
retire.
threw 4,000 yards on his last season and 20,
It's rookie
27 touchdowns. I mean,
rookie numbers.
let's
What
not.
was he throwing years before?
I mean,
A lot more.
no,
Nothing but a dive.
no, that's not.
What I'm
that's
saying
not,
is
that's not true.
when you get
Brady,
old, you
yeah.
get decrepit, and you should quit.
No, trust me. As much as I dislike Tom Brady, he's a cheater.
Yeah.
He abandoned his family. There's many things to dislike about him, but him at age 40, whatever.
Why do you say he abandoned his family?
I actually would say more that
or he didn't. Okay, fair enough. He didn't abandon his family,
if
but
we're
he
gonna-
chose football over his family for
sure,
sure.
but his wife ultimatums and relationships never work out. Whenever you give someone an ultimatum, it's always going to end up with the
You
answer
never
you
know
don't
if
want.
that was the case or not.
That was the case. That came out. She gave him an ultimatum. She's like, "You said you weren't going to do another year of football. You said you were going to retire and just hang out with us. And if you do another year of football, I'm getting a divorce."
Again,
I don't think he's I think that's unfair to say he abandoned his family.
I think
that might have been strong.
You know.
He chose football over his
Do you
family.
see how
And guess
close-
what? Patrick Mahomes is going to do the exact same thing.
No, he won't.
He's going to play a
He's a
really
family
long
man.
time. Oh
He's a
my god!
family
Yeah, as he parties and cheats on his wife.
There's no evidence of that.
Yeah, okay.
You're saying my take was strong. My take was strong. Tom Brady did get divorced. Patrick Mahomes, there's
Giselle
never
Giselle
been any
divorced.
evidence.
Giselle is a goddamn supermodel.
Sure.
Brittany Mahomes will get
Giselle
cheated
makes
on
more
and
money.
not do a damn thing.
I disagree.
No different than LeBron.
Mahomes is a better person. He doesn't cheat.
you just saw this girl.
I mean, you see how his
But-
brother
but-
acts.
But anyways,
That's
just
not him.
just to show you something real quick.
Yeah. Is this how old Tom Brady got?
In 2022,
Mm.
he threw for 4,600 yards and 25 touchdowns. If you look at early on in his career, his first shoot,
You mean that number's higher?
until 07, he didn't throw for more yards until 07.
Right, but
And
he's
it-
a rookie there.
No, he's not a rookie. 07, that's when they went undefeated.
No, I mean like he's learning here.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is him gaining
Okay.
getting
But
his
he
shit
had
down.
4,600 yards.
How much did that go down compared to like his prime?
No, that's like online with his prime,
I
bro.
don't know. It seems
I'm just telling you the numbers.
Online
The numbers
seems
don't
generous.
lie.
Yeah, they don't. They don't.
They don't. He was
It's
still
just like saying that Tom
all
Brady
right.
always
Well,
had
Tom
a
Brady
team
might
around
not.
him.
Let's say Brett Favre, though.
Yes,
he
yes,
he had a
yes.
few couple. He played past his time. Tiger Woods, like his,
I mean, that's a sport you can play past.
your time, sure, yeah. But I'm just trying to.
Your
I
time
think
gets extended.
I think
a little
he's
bit.
going to end up playing and play a year or two
keep-
more than he
Keep in
probably
mind,
should.
Tiger Woods. Everyone thought he was cooked, and then he came back in 19 and won a Masters.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying
So-
people can't do it. That's not what I'm arguing at all. All I'm saying is I think LeBron is going to have maybe 1 or 2 seasons where he just plays past his prime. He's been such an idol.
Oh,
It's gonna be so hard for him.
Prime.
Yeah, but
prime-
I mean like
Prime
past being able to
LeBron
play.
was fucking.
They win
as good
that
as
series
anyone.
with a prime LeBron
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, like way
He
past.
carried
being able to
worse
play.
teams.
He's
to
going to
the-
play a season or two where people are going to be like, he should retire.
No, I
I
think
mean,
I'm calling it now.
they already say that now. His
Well,
haters say
I'm
that.
talking on the level of like Brett Favre, where
Yeah.
like literally everybody was
Well, I think
Yeah.
the right comparison would be Kobe, because
Kobe?
even in his last season, Kobe still averaged in the 20s.
like, Mhm.
However, his efficiency was
I
way
mean,
down.
Kobe also suffered he tore his Achilles, which is
That was 2 seasons before that. But
still that's
it sticks with
bad
you.
injury.
But I mean, Kevin Durant got that injury and he's still hooping.
everybody mends differently.
Also,
And I bet
happened,
Kobe was
it-
harder on his body and
Oh,
didn't allow himself to heal.
I think you can agree that KD would still be better if that never happened, though. Like right now,
Yeah. Imagine if he never tore his Achilles. Yeah.
Anyway, I feel like we should keep it rolling. Go Nuggets and Marshall, you text something in the group
RIP
chat.
Avs.
Bro. You know who did the Avs in real quick?
Hmm.
Nico Rantanen. He
Rantanen did
had a
that
hat.
something?
Yes, because he signed with the Stars, and then against his former team in Game 7 had 3 goals and an
you
assist.
guys are out.
They got bounced yesterday, unfortunately.
I did not know
Yeah.
that.
We were up 2, and then we ended up losing by 4.
They were up.
right?
Yep, they were.
Yeah.
No, not that much. I think they lost by 2. They were up 2 in the third, and then they lost by 2.
My Panthers
yeah.
are still in it.
That's why I said they were up 2, and then we lost because they got 4.
Ain't no ice in Florida.
That's by 2.
Hey, they're the champions.
That's fair enough. But Marshall, let's get into it. You texted something about
That took a while.
a former president's wife went on a podcast, and you had a bold statement that you wanted to share.
I saw a clip of a podcast where a former president's wife was talking
You
to.
can say her name.
All right, I was watching a clip of a podcast where a former president's wife, aka Michelle Obama, aka Barack Obama's wife, aka a dude, apparently, said that she was a man. She was congratulating another man on how he was handling his child who was transitioning, and she said, "As a man, I have to support that decision." And then I mean, you top that with all the photos that are coming out now about.
She did say that. I saw the clip. She did say that.
There are also old photos of Obama hanging out with one of his good buddies back in college. And you know, this guy is not around anymore, but he looks suspiciously a lot like Michelle. And it's hard to get rid of everything.
So do you think Michelle's a dude?
I think Michelle's a dude, dude. I do. I think Michelle's a dude. Not just because of that clip. Even if that clip is edited and fake, I still think Michelle's a dude. Because there's also so many videos out there of her on like Ellen DeGeneres or whatever, or a morning talk show, and she's like, I'm showing you this cool exercise because as the first lady in like my health movement and everything or whatever, and she's doing these little like exercises or dances or playing these games on these morning shows, right? And she's wearing a sundress. You see her little penis popping out, hitting the dress, popping out when she's gyrating her hips. I'm not even joking.
Fucking stupid.
You
bro.
go on, you go down that bunny trail of videos tonight and tell me tomorrow.
All I'll say,
She is a dude.
She does have a muscular back.
She's a dude.
That's all you got to say. That's what you got to say. That's it.
No, I don't think that she's actually a dude.
Because that's a smart
because she does
statement.
Because they got
she's
two,
totally a
two
dude.
kids, right? 2 kids.
Yeah.
Adopted.
They're not adopted.
I don't think so.
They're not
adopted,
bro.
However,
Adopted
I will
or
say,
surrogate mother.
I will say that she does have some male features.
Masculine
Like
features.
a penis.
You're so dumb.
But I don't think
'Cause
I don't think Michelle Obama's a guy.
I'll
No.
send you guys some videos.
All right, hold on,
That's
hold
a
on.
dick.
So when you took that whole thing out of context, that video, and I know you're not saying that that's the only reason why you believe that she's a male, but that video was out of context. She was saying it in place of someone else, like if I'm having a conversation and I understand as a woman how that could be. She wasn't saying as she is a woman.
That's just an elongated way for her to mask her wanting to tell the truth and not, needing that release. She was like, I'm going to say it, but I'm going to say it in like a shrouded way so people can't really buy into it. And then she was like, I'm a man. And then, the release of the truth. Did you see how much her face relaxed after saying I'm a man?
No, bro.
As a man. Even Obama has slipped up multiple times. This is the conspiracy theories I'm on. Obama has slipped up so many times during speeches and been like, Michelle, as a man, I'm a woman. So many times. A suspicious amount of times.
The first woman of the White House.
Yeah. This is
you gotta stop, bro.
He literally, when he was saying that this is a monumental moment because you're about to have like the first African-American first lady of the house, he actually was like, man. And then he corrected himself.
People make mistakes.
You make that joke.
Is that true, or did you just?
It's 1,000% true.
Off your ass.
That's 1,000%.
So remind me when we're off the air.
Yeah.
When we're off the air to say something. Let's just call it for me to tell you a mistake. Okay, just remember that. Because I want to tell you the story, but I'm not going to tell it over the air. Okay. You feel me?
Yeah.
You feel me? All right. Perfect. Yeah. All right. Since we're talking about genders and sexualities and stuff like that,
her voice is kind of deep.
Is Kanye gay? Is Kanye gay?
I don't know.
Do you know what happened?
You know what Kanye,
most famous rappers have had gay sex.
You know what Kanye is? Mentally ill. I can tell you that.
He is.
I don't know if he's gay for sure, but
do you know what he tweeted
What?
about sucking? We should about performing fellatio on his cousin.
he said he topped off his cousin until he was
Oh,
14 years old.
Yeah.
In a tweet. Just when we thought that it couldn't get any worse.
All the anti-Semitic stuff he was saying, and
Well, that could just be he's molested as a child. That could just be an admitting of that.
I mean, that might. I don't.
It could be that. Now, a lot of people, specifically, a lot of people at certain churches do believe that that does make you gay.
no, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Is he gay? Do you think that makes it? Does that?
So this is what I'll say. He's not gay in the sense that he only likes dudes, because he clearly has had children with women.
Also, just tons of heterosexual sex.
And yes, correct.
Mm-hmm.
So whether he's bi or not, I think is a little bit of a more appropriate question, because he's not just gay.
Okay.
I think that's the proof's in the pudding there. But he might be bi, and
He might lean a little more gay, and he might be trying to hide that. Because, I mean, let's talk about Kim Kardashian. She's comically an attractive woman. She has so much plastic. Her ass is so blown up, and her boobs are so blown up. She's reached a comical level of this is an attractive female. Do you know what I mean? Like
a
old
Barbie doll.
Barbie doll, old school like Bugs Bunny cartoons. Like the attractive women were always just like ridiculously huge in the ass and the boobs, and then had nothing else, you know. And that you know what some guys do when they're a little gay or mostly gay and they don't really want to admit it, is they overcorrect. Kim Kardashian could be a sign of overcorrection.
So are you saying like the guys that drive the lifted trucks?
The lifted
that
trucks
are compensating?
Yeah. They're like, I put 20 grand into my wife's
450.
boobs. Could make possibly. I'm not saying all of them. Some guys just like that, but you know, some guys overcorrect.
All right, that's fair.
I feel like that's a valid point supporting your argument, actually.
I don't know. All I'm saying is his downfall, like his trajectory right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from the highest of highs to being the richest black man in the world or America. I don't know however we put it. It's to where he's at now. I'm sure he's still pretty well off,
Obviously.
but like I've never seen someone fumble a bag.
The self-sabotage.
It is
generational.
It's generational. Speaking of
It's
sabotage, man, Shannon Sharp about to get $100 million and then gets in a scandal.
We can talk about that, man.
Who is he getting the $100 million?
Okay, here's
for his podcast, a station was gonna offer him.
Here's the thing about that is that obviously you never really know. You know, again, you just see what you see in the media. But the other thing I do know is that it is shitty. It does look like he's trying to get shaken down for millions of dollars.
I know.
It definitely looks
don't be
like
insensitive because you know. But
It doesn't look great.
It doesn't look great.
No.
Yeah.
I get that.
Well, that's the problem. All right.
We're protect female first instead of just doing the due process.
Correct, but at the same time, like, again, what a 19. So number one, he's like 50 years old. He should have never been fucking with a 19-year-old.
Way too young.
Never should have been fucking with a 19-year-old. But the fact that, again, there's plenty of evidence that they had a consensual relationship, and then you guys, I mean, we all know what is it, non-consensual consent, in the sense that you know how girls are, or some girls, they like to be, whether it's choked or so on and so forth.
You're talking about
it's a kink.
Role play.
Yes,
role play.
exactly.
Okay. He said non-consensual consent, and I was like, I don't know about that.
No, that's what it's
called?
Yes.
Yeah, BDSM.
Yes.
I always knew it just as BD. I didn't know it as
Yes,
that
but
makes it sound
there's texts
so
of her
creepy.
being like, choke me daddy, and like tie me up, and like that kind of stuff.
She's into that shit.
Correct.
Like some girls have like that fantasy
Yeah.
of that happening to them, and they ask for it, and then like people be like, and what's the word? They're like method actors. They get into the role, you know.
I don't know if that's method acting, bro, or just some shit coming out. Holy fuck, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
No, but they're requesting that.
Yeah, they're requesting that. Yeah.
And he might oblige,
Yeah.
but we don't know the whole situation.
You don't oblige that.
Correct.
It's like if you're with a girl and you haven't known her that long, and she's like, "Not in me. I'm on birth control." You're like, It's been like 3 days. I don't know that for a fact. You don't do that.
Yeah.
There's a thing called common sense.
But they were dating for a while. And
okay, that's different.
And then what happened was
19.
what? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Hey, then you need to look at Leonardo DiCaprio the same way you look at Shannon Sharp.
Well, they must be so boring to talk to. Have you talked to a 19-year-old lately?
He's not in it for that. He's in it for the young. Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna keep going.
I'm gonna keep it going.
But here's what's weird about the situation is the timeline. The alleged incident, I think, happened January 2nd. And then literally he gets a text message January 3rd saying, like, when are we doing this again? Or like 25K per cheek. When are you going to come get some or something like that along those lines?
25.
Yeah. Per cheek.
Was
She's
he
a
paying?
she's an OnlyFans girl.
So
she wasn't originally an OnlyFans girl. I think when he started dating her, I think she became after. So he got leaked. He leaked himself by accident on a live stream, smashing a girl, and it wasn't her. It wasn't Gabrielle
was
Zuniga.
this before her?
No, this was in between. He was having sex with other women.
Yeah,
and it got caught, and I think that's when the rift happened between them. But there's a lot of red flags going on here, and then it's Tony Budsby again. Is the lawyer. It's the same lawyer who went against Jay-Z, went against Diddy, went against Deshaun Watson. He's
a high profile sexual assault.
Yeah, correct. So like that bothers me. The timeline bothers me. And then like, how about this? Why don't we just like let the legal system do its thing before we start attacking her or him? Let's let that go down, and then however it shakes out is how it shakes out. Yeah. Because like, look what happened to Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Disney canceled his ass immediately,
but never brought him back.
And never. Well, they offered him.
He was done.
He's like, no,
fuck you.
It's principle. You didn't trust me, and then Jonathan Majors lost. He fumbled the bag with MCU. He was going to be the next.
He did that shit though.
No, he didn't.
He didn't do that shit?
No, he didn't do that shit, bro.
I thought he did do that shit.
No, he didn't do that shit. He got off. He got off.
But again, bro, we're in a society where people are so sensitive, but also so quick to just jump to conclusions too. That if you get accused of something like that, it's such bad publicity that your employer really has no other choice but to let you go. That's why he's saying, I'm going to sue her back for defamation. Yes.
That's a huge thing. I mean, look at what just happened there with what's his name? I always forget his name, but the guy who played Buck. He's the main bad guy in the third Ant-Man flick.
We just talked about him. Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, Jonathan Majors. I just said I always forget his name. But I just saw an article where it was like Jonathan Majors not to reprise role because of because of blah 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 whatever.
Yeah. See, look at that.
They said it in a way that he did it, and I was like,
all right, but he didn't do it.
But he didn't do it.
He didn't
even look any further.
And he's actually going to be back in the MCU. The theory is that they're going to have Doom kill off Kang.
Oh damn!
So to make it tie in.
Yeah.
There is a timeline that happens.
It'll be interesting. How do you feel about Robert Downey Jr. being Doom? I don't like it.
I like Robert Downey Jr.
I love Robert Downey Jr.
The last two people who played Doctor Doom sucked. So
that's true. The only way, but he's known as Iron Man. The only way that would really make any sense. I know we're getting off topic here, but the only thing that would really make any sense for him coming back to be Doctor Doom is if he came from like a parallel universe. Because there is a side comic where Dr. Doom and Tony Stark are like college roommates and actually grow up together and
Correct.
build stuff together.
Hmm.
And then Dr. Doom like tricks him into switching consciousness, and he takes over.
I'm
Stark
sure
Industries
they're gonna do something.
as an evil guy.
I'm sure they're gonna do something.
So
like
it'd
that.
have to be something like that, where that's Dr. Doom in Tony's body.
Yeah,
Fair.
Yeah.
I think he'll kill the role.
I think you will too.
You know,
I'm glad they're bringing him back.
It is
in
Robert.
the MCU.
I love Robert as an actor, and he's going to do a great job. I don't like it because of it shows like a lack of creativity in the production side of things.
Well, the MCU needed something to like bring back the hype and the attention, and they think it started with this guy. We're gonna bring him back, and
yeah,
we'll
but
see what it
that's
is.
what I mean by the lack of creativity. Everything's like they're like, oh, we're only just going to redo good ideas we've done in the past, not try anything fresh so much.
Well, the Thunderbolts was
I
a
was about to
risk,
bring that up.
How
and
was that?
I thought it was really good.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's really
I haven't
good,
seen it
funny.
I bet it was gonna be
Florence Pugh did a great job.
You know, they're just setting up for like the whatever Avengers it is, where it's like
Doomsday.
well, it's evil Avengers. They're just setting up. There's a comic series where, like, basically the opposites in society,
Like the anti-heroes.
like the anti-heroes, the anti-Captain America, Red Guardian, the anti-Black Widow, Black Widow's cousin. Like all those
Or
people
sister.
end up becoming Avengers, and all the Avengers turn evil. And so it seems like they're going down that route.
Well, they did tease that there's a rift between Sam and Bucky because I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah, I would just assume that the riff is that. I mean, their really only connection was Captain.
Well,
Cap.
they start going by the new Avengers, and Sam started building a team called the Avengers again because since the Avengers disband, so like they're beefing over like the name. Yeah, it's at the end credits.
No, fair enough.
Yeah, so
Fair. Anyway, we'll get on to the next topic.
since we're talking, I mean, I think it's an appropriate time since we're
I
talking
agree.
MCU. Like, I mean, let's do it. Let's fucking do it.
I just think they're
Mount Rushmore of villains.
Ooh, life villains or like comic book villains?
So that's where you can kind of interpret it how you want to. However, I think we're talking about like not necessarily comics, but like movies, TV shows.
Could be anime. Could be
anything.
Yeah.
Number one, and this is just because I learned this as an interesting fact the other day. Hitler, actually, because of Marvel Comics, because Hitler is in Marvel Comics, and he's never talked about their evil villain list. Like whenever
Fair
anybody talks about Marvel villains, they never talk about Hitler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mhm.
I like it.
Yeah, I just think that.
All right, that's
interesting.
one. Go ahead. That's on your Mount Rushmore?
No,
Okay,
not
okay.
actually. I just wanted to bring that fact
Okay,
up
cool.
though. But in reality, I'd have to go. I'm gonna go in random orders here, but probably number 3. I'm gonna put Kang the Conqueror
Okay.
because he. If you read the comics, he's a very
So you
very
put
interesting.
you start at 3. You're starting at 3, not 4.
I'm bouncing around quite a bit.
Well, also, it doesn't matter. It's Mount Rushmore. You're on Mount Rushmore or you're not on Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. 3, I'm gonna go King the Conqueror. I think 1, I'm gonna go Galactus. Galactus is my.
This isn't just MCU, just so you know. This is everything.
Well, that is a good point. I'm just thinking MCU. That's a good question. All right, so number 3 we'll go. Oh shit. Okay. Number 3 we'll go Galactus.
Okay.
Fuck King the Conqueror. Shit. Number 2, I'm gonna have to go with the guy from Inglorious Bastards. I'm forgetting that actor's name too.
Which guy?
At the very end, he's the only German dude who really survives them and actually kind of ends up with a happy ending because he makes the deal with America. He's the main evil. He's the Jew hunter in Inglorious Bastards. He's the guy who like has the beginning scene where everybody's hiding in the floorboards, and he's like, "You're hiding enemies of the state." Are you not?
Yeah, gotcha.
I'm actually gonna have to go.
He's
him.
in Django.
He's in Django. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go him. Inglorious Bastards.
Okay.
The Jew hunter for my number 1 villain.
Okay.
Because that was just really played out well, and also like when you read textbooks of that time and everything, the way he portrayed like somebody in his position was so accurate and creepy, and that really fucks with me because that's so real, and that's real evil. Number 2, I'm gonna have to go Hannibal Lecter.
That's a good
That's a
one.
fantastic.
That's a good one.
Hannibal Lecter. Yeah, just because Silence of the Lambs is my favorite horror.
It puts
movie.
the
That's-
lotion on its skin, or
Yeah.
else it gets the hose skin.
Do I look like a real girl?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Hannibal Lecter's got 3. I got King the Con. 3. I got Galactus, just because he's a great.
And then who's the fourth?
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
Who's the 4th? The last
He
one's always
started
tough.
at 3.
Yeah, I did
You're
start
such a
at 3.
weirdo. I love it.
I'm bouncing around.
You need more.
I wanted to
liquor?
give myself room. No. Shit. You come back to me for number 4. You guys give me your list
Go ahead,
real
Chili.
quick. Come back to me.
Mount Rushmore of villains. So I don't know. I'm gonna go Darth Vader. Darth Vader. I feel like that's one of the most, and like again, not necessarily even the most despicable, but as far as like popular, you think. I mean, Anakin Skywalker.
He's got to be one of the greatest.
He just has to be. He's just so he's so famous. I don't know. That's one
Did
of them.
you watch Revenge of the Sith in theaters?
I don't know about in theaters. I've
It
seen
came out
before.
in theaters again. They like brought it back into theaters for the past couple weeks and this week.
Did they?
Yeah,
Fair.
it's super good.
Give me the Joker.
Joker.
Give me the Joker. Dark
That's a
Knight.
good one. It's a good one.
Give me Thanos.
This is just the comic book. I mean, this is just in general.
Sure.
Any
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of life
Give
entertainment.
me Thanos because I mean he did succeed. Yeah, I mean he did what he sought out to do.
Mhm.
You know, whether it was reversed, so on and so forth, whatever. He did what he was supposed to be. Give me Voldemort. And then again, that's also because of like a culture. I haven't seen the Harry Potters in a long time. But Voldemort, you know, he did off, you know, Harry Potter. So I'm just saying that's
Up
there. So yeah, those
He
are my
who shall
4.
not be named.
Yeah, he will not be named,
I've got
even
my
though I
4.
named him.
That's a list right there, bro.
I mean, again, it's you know, you can go more in depth. You can a lot of different ways, but I feel like as far as Mount Rushmore, you think of the 4 quote unquote best or greatest presidents. I feel like those are the
Maybe
most
all the
popular
ones that
villains.
set the tone,
Sure.
carve the way.
What about
Yeah.
you? Mount Rushmore villains.
I got my 4th real quick.
Go
It's
ahead.
General Thrag, and he's a guy from Invincible. If you haven't read the comics, you don't know who he is.
Yeah, I don't know,
But if you've watched the show, as
Yeah.
you continue to watch the show, he's going to become a pretty big villain.
All right,
He's
fair
Okay.
enough.
man, this is so hard. Like when you started like bringing out things that I didn't even think of, bro. That's great. That's great.
Thank you.
I should, as much as I'm not the biggest Star Wars nerd, but like
That's what I'm saying.
I am, and I'm not the biggest Harry Potter nerd, but I am.
Sure.
They are
Like,
two villains who
like-
set tones.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like that's great.
Legendary villains for
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going with Frieza.
Ooh,
Dragon Ball.
I like it.
Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah.
Frieza.
I like
not,
it.
not too familiar.
It's a
but-
crazy arc.
Yeah,
too, for a villain.
it's like the most iconic arc in all of anime because it's what brought the shonen battle anime to what it is today. It's like the OG. There's way better arcs than it, but it's like the iconic role. It's kind of like a Darth Vader for
Sure.
anime. That'd be the great. I mean, he's like a fucking alien space emperor. So
It is one of
Yeah.
the earlier times where they introduced larger arcs
yeah.
for anime
Yeah,
villains like that. Too.
Yeah, so I would say Frieza. I got him on my list.
Mm.
I got Joker. Joker has to be on the list.
Yeah. Has to be.
I might have fucked up there.
Yeah, you there's not a more iconic to me. I think he's the most iconic villain. Period.
Up
It's
there, up there for sure.
Just Joker in general.
That'd be an interesting survey to take.
Thanos.
Yeah,
You gotta like he's such. The Mad Titan is such a good and
Josh Brolin did such a good job playing him too.
We're gonna
Absolutely.
tie into
Yeah.
something real quick, but I'm gonna have an honorable mention for villains.
Can
okay,
I get one? I just thought one.
let
After
me
you
finish my
Let him
honorable
cook.
mention. Okay, and I'll give me time to make sure I shore up my last pick. Juice WRLD's girlfriend. Ex-girlfriend.
Oh, fuck.
She is a super villain. I hate that
Fuck.
bitch.
Fuck that bitch.
Yeah, what she's done to this man's legacy.
How are you gonna release a sex tape on your OnlyFans after he's dead?
Dead. Selling his dreadlocks. She's been selling his dreadlocks and other like, you know,
She's
items.
literally parting him out.
Yes, she's
That's fucked.
she's
It's
parting
fucked
him
up.
up. So she's on my
Yeah,
super villain
Fuck
list.
that bitch.
God. Oh God.
Go ahead. You can do your honorable mention.
Well, I'm very taken aback by this news. I did not know about that.
Yeah.
Fuck. It's actually no. You keep going because it's actually thrown me so much.
Now-
I've forgotten my.
Now I got another honorable mention.
Uh-huh.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Okay. Will Smith is decrepit. He's a decrepit shadow of the man he once was.
Yeah.
I got my honorable
Go-
mention
go
back.
ahead.
The assassin from No Country for Old Men.
I don't.
You haven't
know
seen?
about it.
You
No.
both need to go watch No Country for Old Men. It's the Coen brothers.
Damn.
Really fantastic movie.
This one's not really gonna like hit anyone because
It's
y'all
gonna hit
y'all-
people
y'all,
watching.
y'all not are you're not into anime like that. But Aizen Sosuke from Bleach, he's so
You've seen
manipulative.
Bleach?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Bleach is great. Dude.
yeah, he's such a manipulative.
It's creepy.
And his power is just like so OP. He has like complete hypnosis, so he can make you see whatever he wants you to see. So it doesn't
Yeah.
matter how strong you are, and he's stupid strong. But besides being stupid strong, you could be thinking you're attacking me, but you attack your friend.
Even worse than
like-
that, he could like just show you your worst fears and shit like that.
Fair.
It's a terrifying
Yeah.
power.
Go ahead.
So, I was gonna say if I get an honorable mention, Gus Fring, Breaking Bad.
Great, great.
That
pick.
is a great mention.
Great pick.
Because
about-
he's just and who's the actor? I forget his name.
Gus Fring.
Yeah,
Shit. He's been in so many.
he has been in so
movies
many. That's why I
and
feel
games. He's been in
Giancarlo something.
Far
Any-
Cry. He's
but-
the Far Cry villain for.
Yeah.
Anyway, so such a good fucking job.
Let's see.
But yeah, that's my honorable mention, Gus Fring.
So little twist to this Mount Rushmore. It might change some of your picks. Some might say the same. Not top four. Mount Rushmore of villains that were acted in real life and their performances. Like
You're saying the actor themselves.
well, yes, the performance as a whole. So like you could say Josh Brolin as
Heath Ledger,
Heath
for
Ledger
sure.
Joker.
Yeah, Heath
Those
Ledger for
are
sure.
on my Mount Rushmore.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Giancarlo.
Giancarlo
Yeah,
Esposito.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger for sure.
Those
for
two.
sure.
Those two are
Yeah.
so Heath
Yeah.
Ledger in Thanos. Those are
Well, Hannibal Lecter from
yeah,
The
yeah.
Silence of the Lambs. That actor, Anthony Hopkins.
Who did Pennywise in?
The new one.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Actually, you've seen the latest John Wick, right?
Yes.
No.
This
I
is
haven't
going to
seen-
tie back in.
Wait, which one? The last John Wick.
The last
4?
one,
Yes.
John Wick
Yeah,
4.
yeah.
You've seen John Wick 4?
No, I haven't. That's
Oh,
the
it's a
only
great-
one I haven't
oh,
seen.
great.
We'll think of a
great
different
movie.
movie that this guy's in, but the guy that John Wick duels, not the guy,
Which
not the substitute,
at
but the
very
guy,
end?
the blonde dude who kind of has been trying to get him the whole time, and
Don't spoil it for
Yeah.
me.
that's what
I'm
I'm
gonna
trying
go
to
watch
do.
that tonight.
Yeah, and
It's so good, so good.
he doesn't do
What
he
is it
doesn't
called?
duel him. He brings in a
It's John
referee.
Wick 4.
But no,
yeah.
it has like a title, like a because it came out the same time as Matrix Revelations or whatever.
I don't remember.
Yeah, either.
Resurrection.
Res-
Yeah, it was no, but I don't know what it's called. Go ahead.
It's the blonde pale dude who's been trying to get at him the whole time, who's bossing everybody around. The
Okay.
main antagonist from
Sure.
John Wick 4. That's the guy who plays Pennywise in the new one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That is.
He does that
crazy.
eye trick himself. Like the
No
eyes
shit,
going
yeah,
sideways, that
yeah.
actor does that.
Sorry, John Wick 3 was the one with the title,
Um,
whereas Parabellum. John Wick 4 is just John Wick.
It's
John
one of the
Wick.
Skarsgård brothers who plays
I
Pennywise.
don't know.
You don't know this? Here.
So
yeah.
so you got Heath Ledger,
Yeah.
Josh Brolin. I
Yeah.
got that. I'm there.
I don't know his name. Well, the actor that plays Pennywise, and then
Bill Skarsgård. So this is like the main,
Yeah, I know who that is.
yeah, villain from John Wick 4, and he's Pennywise.
And I'd take. I'll still take. I'll roll with the actor Gus Fring.
Okay.
What do we say?
Giancarlo
Carlo Esposito.
Okay,
Esposito.
yeah, that's what I got.
I got Joker, Heath Ledger, Thanos, Josh Brolin.
Mm.
I got Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger. I think he did a
Okay.
fantastic
That's,
job.
no, that's fair.
And
That's
number 4, and it's hard because there's 2 characters that I really hate in this franchise. I absolutely hate them. They are definitely villains. They're pieces of shit. So my honorable mention is Cersei Lannister. But Ramsay Bolton is the most despicable motherfucker I've ever seen in all of. God damn it! I fucked up. I think I gotta take it back. I gotta take it. No, well, no. We're gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with it.
Say what you're gonna say though.
Negan from The Walking Dead.
Ooh.
He is such a fucking piece of shit.
You know who I was gonna? I just thought of is Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
He is a fucking. He poisons and whispers to a lot of people and causes a lot of chaos. And if you read the books at all or dive into it at all, he does a lot more than what you see on screen. But he's just an evil, cowardly little piece of shit. And nothing kind of irritates me more when you have this ginormous impact and fuck a whole bunch of shit up, but you're always just behind someone else. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody ever realizes it's you. It's like the highest form of cowardice, in my opinion.
Sure.
It gets my goat.
Cersei Lannister is a good one, but yeah,
Ramsay's the most
Ramsay's-
what he did to Theon. Oh
Yeah.
my God! Cut his dick off and
And-
sent it to his father.
Oh
my
gosh.
God, that is so savage.
It is. Especially after like bringing in some whores to seduce him.
And didn't he rape Sansa? Was it Sansa that he raped?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. There's honestly
A
there
lot
are
of
a lot
people.
of people you could choose from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, there's some.
It's filled to the
yeah.
brim.
I mean, but I think Cersei and Joffrey's pretty up there. As,
Oh,
Yeah,
1000%.
thankfully he
but
gets
he-
soft
yeah,
pretty quickly.
but he doesn't have like this the. He's a piece of shit, but you don't have the fear of him that you do with Ramsay. Ramsay like actually,
Sure, he'll kill you, but he won't torture you, kind of shit.
Yeah. There's the robot from Ex Machina.
Never.
Never seen? You remember Ex
I've seen
Machina?
X-Men.
It's an AI robot that can pass as human. Ends
Hmm.
up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anymore.
Okay.
You should watch Ex
Okay.
Machina.
Okay. Cool.
It's a good movie.
Let's
Mm.
keep it going. Let's keep it
Mm.
going. We're winding down.
Mm.
Let's see. You wanted to talk about
Trump got a mullet.
Trump got a mullet.
Did he really?
I
I
s-
haven't seen this.
I haven't seen this.
I saw a video the other day in a little Instagram thing, him coming out of the barber and all.
With a mullet.
Yeah.
I mean, he could rock it.
It's
He
about
could
as-
rock it.
It's really hard to tell he's got a mullet, if we're being honest. But it's, you see that and you're like, this is like, that's an American president right there.
All right. We're yeah, I know it's kind of weird
You
for him to
just-
rock that.
I-
That's like Obama rocking cornrows.
yeah, it just feels very stereotypical.
Yeah. That's, no, I'm with you. I'm with you.
And it's supporting a fact that someone stated over in England that we are becoming a cartoon country.
He is a character, bro. He, regardless of anything,
He is a character.
He is a character. You said there's a rising conspiracy that Lady Gaga is Amy Winehouse.
Yes, that's an interesting one.
So
actually.
I could see
Not
I could see the resemblance.
facial structure matches up. There are
However, the age don't match up. Like Amy Winehouse would be decrepit by now,
right,
especially with the amount of drugs she took in her life.
right. People never fake ages and get really
No,
good plastic surgery.
yeah,
stem cells and stuff.
that happens. But
I mean, Tom Cruise definitely doesn't.
yeah,
you know,
I
doesn't look young.
I get what you're saying, but like, there's a difference between someone who's been doctored up and then someone who that's what they look like. And their singing talent is completely different. Completely different.
It's
Amy Winehouse is a 10 times better singer than Lady Gaga. Maybe not a better entertainer, but 10 times.
So that goes into the conspiracy theory that under her physical changes and through her treatments, she has lost certain abilities in her voice. It's part of the conspiracy theory.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, I mean, there's people who think Tupac's still alive.
I don't know if I think this, but actually, well, I don't really
Tupac is
care enough.
alive.
But I think it's interesting. I think it's
Yeah,
interesting.
no,
There are 6 dimples or 6 moles that line up that are here.
no, I could see it. Like
here,
I
and here on Lady Gaga and Amy Winehouse, same spot, same locations, and that's pretty interesting. Facial structures match up a lot, and
Yeah.
like with everything that Hollywood pulls, it's like
you know,
like
you know what's wild?
Hmm.
Those those reverse makeup tutorials or makeup videos
Oh
where
gosh.
where the girl looks like she's like a 17-year-old chick, and then by the time they take off the makeup, it's like a 50-year-old Asian woman.
Correct.
it's terrifying.
Yeah,
It's
they
terrifying.
they take the teeth out, or it's like, oh,
You're like,
oh fuck.
Could you imagine
Put it back
waking
on.
up? Yeah.
Waking up, to
You like? Do you like your eggs scrambled or do you like
Yeah, when
them
they take out the dentures.
fried?
You also said something about military drones that could fly straight to your forehead and shoot you.
Yeah. They released. I mean, you've seen the drone swaths, right? That like China is coming out with, and a couple other countries, where it's literally like 200 drones, and they fly in a formation of a cube, a 3-dimensional cube, and those are all these drones have cameras, but they also have like little bricks of C4 or whatever on them, and all they do is fly around, scope shit out, and if they need to take something out, they literally it's treated like they just fly into it,
Dive
blow it up.
bomb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
drone warfare is
Or-
diabolical.
Yeah,
bro.
or they'll fly in a group till they get to the
'Cause
location.
there's no soul to it.
It's so
It's no soul, it's programmed.
It's just it's so
So-
robotic that you just put a bomb on a drone and fly it into
Mhm.
someone.
So the terrifying thing that they've come out lately with drone warfare is there's a little drone that could fit in the palm of your hand. All its wings and everything fits in the palm of your hand, and it's got a single incendiary device and a single bullet. That's like a half caliber. It's like a custom bullet made for this or something. It's like a little bit bigger than a 22, but smaller than a 38 or whatever. And it's got AI programmed into it, and all you do is you upload like maybe 10 photos of the face of the person it needs to get, and like as long as you're within, I think they said like 10 miles, which is pretty solid. 10 miles.
Oh,
If you're 10 miles is well within like what you could pull up from tracking somebody's phone. And
Bro,
and
that
you
is-
fly in there and you just release it, and it goes through, flies
Just don't say
through
the
the
K word.
population, scans everything, right? It flies. Oh, I won't. If it once it recognizes the person, right, it'll zoom back in for the right rotation. It literally comes down, so you look down at it a little bit, like it pulls down to get you to it. Because when you see a drone flying right at you, you're gonna be like, "Look at that drone," and it's gonna go right here, and you're gonna go down a little bit. And the reason it does that is so it can get that perfect. And it does that, and then right about like here, it just boom. And when it lands here, it's got its bottom like facing right in there, and
Almost
the
like a stinger.
yeah, like a bee. And the incendiary device goes off, and it literally goes like from the front all the way to at an angle all the way to the back. This
That-
perfect.
That
It's
is
perfect shot.
terrifying. You know what we're doing? Like, we're all thinking about like, okay, AI is gonna destroy us,
Mhm.
and it's gonna be robots. But it might not even have to be an actual robot. It could just be.
It's just gonna be us.
It's gonna be controlled. AI is gonna take control of these little things.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
start.
Oh yeah.
And then once they get a control of the manufacturing, it's a wrap.
Yeah. Well, and these things are like linked up to, how do you think they track and do all that stuff? They're linked to satellites and all that shit, so they know where they're at, and they have some kind of GPS system in there. And like, think about Google a few years back having to shut off. They created like 2 AIs that started communicating to each other in a language Google didn't understand.
Mhm.
They shut that off. Multiple companies have had that incident.
I am convinced if there's any extinction level event, it's going to be AI. It's not going to be a zombie apocalypse. It's not going to be a pandemic. It's probably not going to be like a meteorite. It's literally going to be AI.
I would say nuclear warfare, but that could be
due
generated-
to
could-
AI,
I would say
Skynet.
that's part of the
It's a
part
terrifying
of the
concept.
possibility. Have you guys heard about those? It's like the ice darts. that
Ice.
shoot. So like poison ice darts that get shot. So they enter in real quick, poison you, die, and the ice melts, and so then you don't really.
There's
know.
no weapon.
There's
That's
no
like
evidence.
that's the
That's crazy.
greatest murder weapon would be like an ice.
That's like a
Exactly.
Sherlock Holmes
Yep.
novel. That's
And so
insane.
then you see an entry, but you're like, there's no bullet, there's no
Yeah.
dart, there's no arrow, there's no nothing.
Yeah,
but
it's
they're
melted.
dead. So that's what that made me think of. But
Yeah, that's
Crazy
pretty
shit.
Wild, pretty wild.
crazy.
But
shit.
we should wrap this up with your big question. The liquids.
Oh yes, that's a good
Yeah,
one.
that's it.
Okay,
And
that's a good one.
Oh.
All right, so let's say, all right, on your right hand you got 5 fingers. Each finger can dispense an infinite amount of a liquid. Which 5 liquids are you going to choose?
Can I go first?
Go for it.
All right. Number 1, I got water.
Has to be there.
Gotta have water.
Has to be
Okay.
there.
Number 2, I'm going with gold. Liquid gold.
That's a good one too.
It doesn't say that. It
Good one,
doesn't.
too.
Any liquid.
Any liquid.
And gotta get that gold.
Infinite amount of bling, and you can make
Infinite income.
sell it.
Yeah. So gotta have that. Now let me ask you a question. Can I control the velocity of this liquid?
I didn't put too much thought into that. Let's say
Like,
sure.
as
Okay.
in to weaponize it?
Yes.
Let's say sure.
Oh, okay.
Magma. Just straight magma. I am murking motherfuckers with fucking molten
Sure.
lava.
Even if you couldn't quite control the velocity of how it comes out of your finger, you could just like
Yeah, I was
Fling
gonna
it,
say
be
if
like,
you can control the
magma.
velocity, water will cut through anyone.
yeah, I
at
know, but
high
I
enough
want
pressure.
magma.
Okay.
You know.
okay.
Okay. All right. I don't know what I was gonna go. I forgot one of them, so I'm gonna.
Rat piss is what you were about to say.
Milk steak.
I think magma was supposed to be here. Yeah, because it was like a gun.
Magma
Yeah.
is that one.
Yeah. We're gonna do magma here. I'm gonna figure this one out, but I'm gonna give you the last. Well, technically not the last one. Hennessy.
Mhm.
I gotta have a Henny. You know what? Fuck it. I got beer and I got Henny. I'm good. I'm
okay.
done.
All
I'm
right.
rich. I got a weapon to protect myself, and then I got my drinks.
All right.
And if we're gonna be specific, it's gonna be Francis Connor. It's a beer.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just be like filling it up real quick.
My 5 real quick.
Mhm.
First one. Gasoline. Never paying for gas again.
Great.
Just putting that shit
That's a
right.
great-
I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't.
Also,
I don't
into
know
the
why.
tank,
That's
and
Huffing
same,
that anytime you want.
yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
Same concept as far as money. I mean, you can make infinite money off of whatever drink you choose
Yeah.
if you can just dispense it
Sell
and sell
gas
that
on
drink.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll take gasoline. Give me tropical vibe Celsius just because I drink it so much. I never have to pay for it again. Give me Don Julio 1942 for the same reason that you choose the Hennessy. Anytime you need to get lit. I did think of liquid gold. That one was on consideration. I'm going to change it though since you already said it. I like a good hydration drink. Give me blue Powerade. All right. And then finally, of course, water. How you got to live with water. So
This is hilarious.
If I could take one of yours, I would swap out the beer for the
gasoline.
gasoline.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd swap out the Henny for the
Really?
for the
Hennessy basically is gasoline.
I'm gonna steal one of yours, the gas.
Yeah,
That one honestly
That was
seems better
great.
than the gold because it's got multiple uses. I could sell
Yeah.
it to buy gold.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Light someone on fire.
Light someone on fire. Yeah, it's weaponry and stuff too. So I'm gonna go gasoline. All right here in the pinky. You know, because I think it'd be funny to top off your tank with your pinky. Be like, fuck you, to the guy paying for gas. Ring finger. I'm going milk. It's
Yeah.
high. It's hydrating.
Is it?
It is. It's delicious. It's got protein and calcium. It's high in calcium. That's
That it
good for
does,
you.
Sure.
Middle finger, I'm going water because I'm gonna drink water the most. Probably use that the most. And also, you bring up a good point. Water at the right velocity can cut someone in half. So that'd be my weapon too. And I think it'd be great to be like, you know, and also be drinking like was it
Yeah.
all the time. Pointer finger. Pointer finger. I'm going with poison from the black mamba.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I like it. That's creative. That's
Yeah.
creative.
Yeah.
Poison, but I mean, you already got a weapon to kill. What do you need a poison to? That
There's-
seems kind of dangerous.
As soon as
like,
I
you
said it,
could-
I actually was giving thought to that. Why do I need another weapon? And the
It's
question
kinda-
is, I don't know.
The other thing I'm gonna say, not to be like
Are you
specific,
anti-milk
or-
here? Is
no,
that
no,
what
no.
you're
Well,
gonna
I'm
do?
just saying. So, Black Mamba, that's venom. So
You're
you
right,
can just
venom.
spray, just because you spray someone with it doesn't mean it's going to kill them. No, you
Oh
got to
no, yeah, I
inject
know.
it into their
It
bloodstream.
has to go into their bloodstream,
So
or
that's
they have
why
to
I
eat
find
it.
that kind of. No,
I mean,
eating
you're
it's
better.
not-
You're better
eating
off.
it
with-
might get you sick, but it has to be in their bloodstream. That's why it's
That's a good
venom.
point.
That's
a good
venom
point.
instead of poison.
You're better off getting like spitting cobra venom
Mm,
because you can blind somebody with that.
mm.
You know?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. What metal drives like is solid at room temperature and just you know what? Yeah.
Most
Most
of them.
metals. I'm shooting liquid steel. Cuz
Yeah.
then I could build with that. I could make molds
Sure.
and just put that into molds.
That's solid.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, but like my whole house would be gold. Call me Trinidad James, all gold.
That's
everything.
true, but you'd really lower the
Gold's
value.
I was gonna say gold's kind of flimsy. It might not stay.
It wouldn't. It's pretty late. That's why it
It's
needs to be
alright.
mixed.
It's all good.
That's why people would genuinely like test gold by biting it because it's malleable. But you would really mess with the gold influx in society.
No,
the
it-
value might decrease.
no.
If you're building houses of gold,
I'm not building houses. I'm
just
gonna
the
have
one, just the
and
one.
I'm gonna have gold like stuff in my house. I'm gonna like the tiles are gonna be
Mm.
gold,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
You know what? Scratch the liquid steel. Don Perignon is coming out of my pointer finger.
Okay,
Champagne.
yeah, you classy.
Champagne's coming out of my finger.
I feel like you gotta
that
have
should be
one.
in your pinky, actually.
I say-
You think so?
because it's classy.
What did I have in my pinky?
You had
You had
gasoline.
giraffe semen.
Giraffe semen. I'm gonna put giraffe semen in my pointer finger and Dom Perignon in my pinky. I better not mix that up when this actually happens.
You're drunk and you take the giraffe semen.
Ah. Somebody offers me a Gatorade. I'm like, I got enough salt, man.
All
Just give
right.
me some water.
Well, this was a very interesting podcast. I think we did a really good job for not like having like a full structure.
Yeah, just
Then we-
going off of it.
Yeah, that was
Mhm.
pretty good. Hey, Marshall, thank you for always, showing up and showing out.
Participating.
This won't be the last time you're on the pod. Thank you for always showing up. And this is the Awesome Life Podcast.
Yep.
I'm Mr.
You
Phoenix,
chilling?
and we are out.
And we're gonna grind to the sun up, sun up. All we wanna do is turn up, turn up. And we're gonna grind to the sun up, sun up. All we wanna do is turn up, turn up. And we're gonna grind to the sun